I'm pretty sure humanity peaked with that "welcome back to me screaming" "Ah!" Vine, and it's just all been downhill since. I've been debating blocking someone on social media lately. It's not an everyday occurrence, but whenever they comment on a post I make that's supposed to be funny or I'm talking with someone else, their comments are 9 times out of 10 condescending. Just to make things clear, they've been following me for a few years, and I was following them back at one point, but I have now unfollowed them. Like I said, I don't want to block them, but only because I'm good friends with one of their siblings, and I don't want to ruin our relationship. How much is Twitter worth? So not to simp for a company with an absolutely terrible track record on security as well as just ethics, and is worth $31 billion, but I feel like I can't say anything too terrible about because of the incredibly positive impact they've had on my life, including meeting my current girlfriend on. But surprisingly, Twitter does have your back on this one. $31 billion! $31 billion! Holy. Because I'm pretty sure you can mute somebody on Twitter that you don't follow, which is amazing! So I realize this might be a little bit out of your area of expertise, but I'm gonna ask for your thoughts anyway. Out of my area of expertise is already implied. The fact that you explicitly set it for this question too means this is gonna be a whopper! My top love languages are quality time and words of affirmation, while my husband's is physical touch. The issues are, our respective love languages are almost reversed for each other. I often just don't think about showing physical affection, or I get caught up in the craziness of life and to-do lists, and I forget. Shame on me, I know I need to get my priorities straight. He's a super introvert and has an incredibly difficult time with having conversations of any kind. And we've both realized over the past year or two that we don't have a ton of the same interests. Fairly often, we do things apart because we aren't interested in what the other is doing. And also, we don't go on dates. Partially because of the world ending, and partially because he really doesn't like going out, which is another challenging difference we have. Of course, dates should be focused on each other and not what you're doing, but I think it's fun to mix things up every now and then, right? We love each other so much, but these sources of friction are becoming frustrating. For me, especially the struggle just to talk. What can we do? Any advice for either or both of us? I hope this wasn't too much of a question. It was a lot of a question. I mean, can you guys get couples therapy? Because this is like way beyond the scope of what I can handle. You were right. Cool. First of all, I'm glad that you are like aware and can articulate the problem so well. You have separated the issue from the person. You didn't say, my husband is so annoying, he never wants to go anywhere, or anything like that. You very clearly understand what the actual problem is and are able to articulate that and understand that very well and separate that from the person that your husband is, who you love so much. So that's dope. Genuinely the best thing I can think of, and I know it's not like a funny haha YouTube moment, but like, if you can, I guess because of the big C, like over the phone or something, seek out a form of couples therapy. I think that would be very good because you are already on the right track and you just need somebody to help guide you who has the experience and the ability to point out where the right track is. But I have hope. Don't think this is like gonna be some terrible thing that's going to inevitably lead to your guys' divorce or anything. I genuinely think there is light at the end of the tunnel. You can make this work. Oh gosh, this is a long question. Buckle up. I've been dating somebody for about 3 months now, and I have reached the point where I feel ready to say the big 3 words to them, but I'm not sure how to approach it. The main thing that has stopped me from telling them is that I'm not too sure they're ready to say it back / hear it. So I guess my question for you is, when did you feel ready to say I love you? How did you know it was the right moment in your relationship? So funny you should ask that because the way that it happened was a little bit unusual. You know, Susan and I were friends for a while before we started like dating, right? And she had said something funny and I responded with, as I would with like any of my friends, oh my gosh, I love you. And then promptly went to bed. And woke up to a bunch of messages. Like, what? What did you say? What did you just say? And this, I was faced with a choice of how to respond. But you have to know, your boy here was terrified. So I responded with, oh yes, of course I love you. You're hilarious. I love you so much as a friend. and put off the start of our relationship by months. So I'm that was how this boy started it. So maybe I'm the wrong person to ask how to seriously approach this situation. So I mean, I guess my lived advice would be just to make it a casual thing. But obviously I'm really not the right person to answer this question, which that's kind of an evergreen statement about any of these questions. But I guess on a more serious note, the right time to say I love you is when you can look at the relationship and see that you are really enjoying this person and you can't see it ever stopping and you want to spend the rest of your life with this person and you genuinely do love them and you get that same vibe from them. Bonus question! Whoa! So another dilemma I've low-key been struggling with is exes. Oh, giddy gumdrops! So my current significant other has openly expressed to me his close dynamic with his ex. They're a lot more tight than I would have expected since they didn't have the best relationship and his ex treated him like crap. Only the message didn't say crap, but I want this video to be completely monetized. Personally, I have an okay relationship with mine. It's friendly and I'm cool with that. I realized shortly after we may still need the space, more details later. So my question for you is, can you ever be friends with your ex? I mean, I definitely think it's possible for you to realize that like a romantic relationship may not be right, but a platonic one totally is. And some bonus tea! Let me prepare for this. Let me just. Okay. I'm ready for bonus tea. Now that I've spilled tea all over the floor. That's not a joke. I spilled tea all over the floor. A couple weeks ago, I decided to socially distance hang with a friend that was leaving for school. Amongst the very small group of people social distance hanging out with us was my ex. I'm used to this since we're practically in the same circle. Throughout the night, I was primarily talking it up with my pal leaving for school, but evidently me and my ex ended up in a conversation together about music. We are very passionate about this topic. As the night progressed, we had all opened up a bottle of wine, we are of age, don't worry, and people were feeling the thing. Before I know it, as my ex and I were talking about music, he abruptly blurts out, "Babe," and very quickly says my name to try and rectify his mistake. I'm too nice of a person, so I decided to brush it off and not make them uncomfortable. And since we were in a group, it was easy to suave your way out of an uncomfortable situation. Ruh-roh! But if I gotta be honest, it definitely clicked and hit me that we may need a little more space before hanging out again. Thankfully, he goes to school out of state, so that'd be no problem. My current significant other was completely aware of the fact that I saw my ex, and he totally trusts me and assures me that he's cool with it. The issue here is that I haven't told him about this incident, and friends have advised me not to make a big fuss about it since it will only make him upset. But a part feels like I've been so honest and transparent with us this far in the relationship, I wouldn't want to backtrack now. So what would you say is the best way to approach this? Should I tell my boyfriend about the ex incident? You were right, this is some tea. I'm gonna be honest with you, it's totally possible that this was just like a mistake in the same way that when you were a kid, you sometimes called your teacher mom. And with this kind of thing, I think that you probably should tell your boyfriend just because, like you've said, you know, you have been so honest and you're always gonna have that little nagging in the back of your mind like, oh, this thing involving my ex I'm keeping a secret from, and I think that's just gonna be worse for you than if you just tell him. But tell him in a way that makes it sound kind of funny, you know? Just because he like immediately recognized and tried to backtrack what he did and nothing more came out of it, which is really good. So it is kind of a humorous story, so maybe you could tell it in that lighthearted tone. Don't make it a huge serious thing because in my opinion, this really isn't that big of a deal. Or it could be totally wrong. It could be reading the situation totally wrong and your ex secretly desires you still. But I'm glad that you recognize that you need more space, and the fact that you're taking like actions to do that is good. So I think you're okay. What is this? For your amusement, because I do weird things when I'm tired, please see the attached audio file.
Mad Libs, Part of Your World, from Chris Howard's stream, August 3rd, 2020.
Okay, pause, a bit of context. Every Monday night at 7 p.m. Pacific time, I do a live stream over on the other channel, Chris Howard Live. I put a link in the description. Look, Okay, I like the light mode. I use light mode Twitter. I use light mode YouTube. It's just easier on my eyes. And recently we played a game of Mad Libs together. I don't know how this song goes. Why did I do this? Why did I do this? And I had the feeling,
This Antraps, isn't it neat? Wouldn't you think my collection's complete? Wouldn't you think I'm the Twilight who has everything strolling along down the... What's that word again? Ukulele. A poor shirt splurge.
Oh my gosh.
A poor shirt stay all day in the sun, wandering free. Wish I could be part of that bread.
I do wish I could be part of that bread.
What's a baboon? And why does it... What's the word? Ameliorate.
I'm starting to really think about what kind of effect, what ripple effect I'm having on the way that the world is working right now. So I guess I should probably wrap this up before I follow that thought to its conclusion. If you have questions or need life advice, email me at chrisporterhowbut@gmail.com and I will get back to you in like 3 months. And now if you'll excuse me, I'm going to continue to drink the rest of this hot tea while simultaneously keeping my window shut and encasing myself in this cave of darkness with the AC cranked all the way up because LA is currently experiencing a heat wave. But it's just so good. Mint tea is the superior tea. And on that bit of controversy, stay positive.